Alright people, welcome back to another video in our MITRE attack series. So today we are going to take a look at another defense evasion technique. So we had one in our last video, direct volume access, and I thought let's do some defense evasion, some more of that, and this is called Rootkit, one of the more prominent ones, and we have heard that word Rootkit, I think, in one way or the other, but now let's take a look at that a little bit more in depth. So this is a pretty short video as well, I believe, maximum 15 minutes I would say, and let's take a look at what does Rootkit mean and how does it usually work. Yeah, so as mentioned, we are in defense evasion here. There are no sub-techniques. This is Mannequin Goldstein. I'm not familiar with that name, but great job that this person manages to cover this topic. Also on the number 1014 you can see that it's one of the earlier numbers, and yes indeed, it's 2017, so this is one of the earlier numbers. Yes, so it's Linux, Windows, Mac OS, so I'm familiar with Rootkit for your iPhone. Okay, you can install Rootkits, and then you have like a hacked app store, and you can install apps without paying for them. So this is what people used to do back in the day. I'm not sure how popular it is these days. I'm not following up that scene so much, but this were the rootkits that I have seen years ago. Let's see what MITRE writes on that topic. So adversaries may use rootkits to hide the presence of programs, files, network connection services, drivers and other system components. So a rootkit is hiding. Use rootkit to hide the presence of certain programs that do malicious stuff, and that's what you have on these iPhones too. So the iPhones, they check the software they install, right? But with a rootkit you can hide that, and that allows you somehow, I'm not familiar how exactly, but this allows you to use these cracked software, this software that you don't have to pay for, and the signatures must be different and stuff, but this is all hidden behind the rootkit, so the system itself doesn't know that it's being hacked. So rootkits are programs that hide the existence of malware by intercepting, hooking and modifying operating systems API calls that supply system information. Yes, it's about hiding. Rootkits or rootkit enabling functionality may reside at the user at kernel level. That's important. That's why whenever you install a Linux kernel, make absolute certain that the hash value is the one that is published on their website, because hacking the kernel, that's how you never catch the hacker if you work on a malicious kernel. It's difficult. You will have all kinds of anomalies. You won't be able to describe them, and by the time some of your security team gets the idea, oh, we might be working on a hacked kernel, a lot of time has passed, a lot of analysis has been wasted, and so yeah, make sure not to make that mistake. And then, so the kernel level in the operating system or lower to include the hypervisor or system firmware. Rootkits have been seen for Windows, Linux and Mac OS systems, yes. Then, rootkits that reside or modify boot sectors are known as bootkits and specifically target the boot process of the operating system. Yes, if you can modify the booting, you can at boot time you can load malware into the system. And then the operating system itself doesn't know, it cannot detect it because it's working on a bad fundament. Great. Let's look at some procedures then. So we have a lot of procedures here. So again, let's pick some from the middle to have a little bit of variety here. Let's pick some. Let's pick the last ones this time. This is nice. I found an old familiar name. I don't want to say old friend. This could be misinterpreted, but here, the first one, Stuxnet. We know that one. Stuxnet uses a Windows rootkit to mask its binaries and other relevant files. Then we have Team TNT, has used rootkits such as the open source Diamorphine rootkit in their custom boots to hide cryptocurrency mining activity on the machine. Yeah, cryptocurrency mining, that's the least that you should worry about. Okay, so they just use your resources then. That's whatever it does. It's not that much of a damage except for the electricity bill. It can be worse than that. Then you have Uropuros. Can use the kernel module to prevent its host components from being listed by the target system. Yeah, you're just not being listed. They ask what is running on the machine, and if you have a rootkit installed, it doesn't show up there. Warzone Red can include a rootkit to hide processes, files, and startup. Yes. But yeah, so far so good. This is the procedures. There's not much more I can say to that. And sometimes there's not much you need to add. I mean, if MITRE is doing a good job, it's totally fine. We have not a lot, but 38 sources this time. Let's take a look at mitigation. So this type of attack cannot be easily mitigated with preventive controls, since it is abusing system features. Okay, understood. But let's mark it so it cannot be easily mitigated with preventive controls. And detection would be unauthorized or anomalous loading of kernel mode drivers or DLLs. Then abnormal loading of kernel modules. Behavior hiding processor files. Execution of unsigned kernel extensions. Launch demo user space hooks into system libraries. Yeah, those are ideas how to detect this. So what you gotta watch out for is this word abnormal. So even if you have a rootkit installed and the malicious processes are not listed via API calls, well, their activities still can be found. And that's why you have here this word abnormal. You have this multiple times, like here it's unsigned, okay, but this word abnormal here, so you are going to look for anomalies here, and then you can even catch things like that. Okay, and last but not least, let's take a look at the sources that we have here. The references, let's take the first ones this time again. Like this. There we go. Let's jump back to the reading mode. So I unintentionally marked here the 22. That doesn't mean anything. But we have Symantec here. We have even Wikipedia from 2016. I don't like to use Wikipedia as a source, and I would like to mark that here as might be not the wisest thing to do. There are people who are like a cult worship Wikipedia, and when I was in school days I appreciated them as well, but just know that Wikipedia there are some issues. Okay, so if you want to know what is the capital city of Cambodia, okay, you will get an answer. But if you Google some political people, you will get very unfair descriptions of them. Okay, they will be called out as activists, or they will be called conspiracy theorists. So Wikipedia is really when it comes to politics, you cannot use it anymore. And unfortunately, cybersecurity is loaded with politics, so I don't expect Wikipedia to perform well on that front. But sure, if you want to ask it about chemistry or biological stuff or physics, what is the speed of light, or you know, what is the component of water and stuff like this, sort of molecules that are there. Yes, so on these topics Wikipedia will be fine, but in terms of cybersecurity, don't use them. Okay, use other sources than that. That's just my warm recommendation at that point. So Wikipedia is not that big friendly encyclopedia that it tries to be. There is propaganda involved there, want it or not, and these fanboys of it, they would slaughter me for that, okay, saying that Wikipedia provides propaganda, but that's exactly what it does. And luckily I'm not forced to use it. But okay, we are not on the Wikipedia rant here, we just want to look at the references. This is the first time I see Wikipedia on MITRE-ATT&CK. Warm recommendation to MITRE, throw it in the dumpster, use some other sources there. And let's see, where do they even use this? So it's 2, so system firmware, it's 2. And this is 2, Rootkit. Okay, so they want to, yeah, this statement might be underlined with some other sources then. But here you have EZ, CrowdStrike, Clear Sky once again, Dutch Military Intelligence Security Service. That's unusual again. Let's mark them. So the Dutch, Australian Cyber Defense, Lamparski Anomaly Labs. Yeah, this is the stuff that catch my eye here. It's good enough for the moment. But okay, so quick little video, as estimated, under 15 minutes. So we have an idea now what Rootkit is from a professional standpoint of view. You all have heard that word. Now you know there's a MITRE-ATT&CK technique for that, and you can see also you can put it into the context of the kill chain of the adversary life cycle. It's defense evasion. Pretty old technique, as you can see. The goal is to hide. That's the goal of a rootkit. We have seen some procedures, and also we have seen some old familiar names here, Stuxnet. Mitigations cannot be done, but if you're looking for abnormal activities, you can detect it. And we have seen some sources here as well. Yeah, so thank you for watching then. Thank you for spending time on cybersecurity. It is time well spent. And see you in the next video then. Goodbye.